Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of Final Fantasy 13. So I officially did it. I actually collected 2 Trapezohedrons, so I wanted to show you guys me getting the upgrades for Fang and Lightning and just doing a bit of upgrades on other weapons, getting Hope's level 1 stuff to like level 2 and just trying to decide what exactly I wanted. But after a little bit of leveling and getting the rest of them, I now have Fang's ultimate weapon, the Cane Lance. I leveled that up to like 79 just so she has over 3000 strength. Super useful. And then of course we have the Omega weapon up in the 80s, and then Hope's new weapon, and then the Total Eclipse, Nirvana for Vanille, Save the Queen for Snow. So all of them have a tier 3 weapon. The only thing now is to get all the weapons to tier 2. But basically after all of that traipsing around and getting different Trapezohedrons, we actually have maximized the Crystarium. So once we level up everybody to their max roll, and in the case of Hope, I literally just had like the 2 of them on the burgeoning of reaching max level there. But again, it's nice just to look into the menu and see all level 5s. And really the only thing we can do now is get bonus like accessory or weapon levels to give them another boost in stats. But with that, we now have the Master's Seal. Fully upgrade all characters. And that basically means there's no reason to get into fights we do not need to get in, basically. And as I say, there's another trophy here where we're going to just do a particular mission. And this mission is meant to be so hard. Fighting the Gigantar, that there's a whole unique achievement just for this. As well as that, we still have to be going around, and I've been doing it slightly off screen as well. And I might as well tell you guys now, whenever you load into the Arctile Steep, there are 5 treasure points for treasure to spawn in. And basically, to get this achievement, you have to dig 20 treasures up. And on the 20th treasure, you get a ribbon. So if you really want to grind this out, run around the Arctile Steep on a chocobo, which I do this episode. And literally, once you find about 4, just load out of the zone, go to a teleport stone, teleport somewhere, and teleport back. Get back on a chocobo. And, you know, start searching again. But it's just important to know that there'll only ever be 5 every time you load in. So just be conscious of that and make sure you hop out and hop back in. But really all you have to do is just wander to certain areas and certain paths. But we're about to fight the Gigantar, which we're going to get another cutscene. Randomly, Saz just has a vendetta against this thing.
I think our prickly green pest's back. Come for another shot at old Saz, have you? Sweet mercy! Go! I don't believe we met. I know that trot. It is you, isn't it? Found yourself some fertilizer, did you? Well, Saz ain't outrun by a cactus twice. Oh no, everything's spinning. Playing with me? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. Teach you to mess with Saz.
Anyway, just so you guys are aware, we needed to change up our party. So Snow's coming back in. I basically had Hope be the Sentinel, but he just doesn't have the HP. So equip Snow with some nimble toe boots. So he has a chance of evading. And as well as that, some like resist physical. That could also be an option. Or just resist certain elements like fog. Although you'd need those mainly for Fang and lightning. And the whole strategy with the Gigantar is that he's susceptible to daze. So you really don't want to hit him at all once he's dazed. Now, realistically, what I should have done was made a triple synergist paradigm. But it all works out in the end. But make sure you resist fog and resist... oh, I can't think of the name for it now. Pain, yes. Because you need to be attacking, and if you're not attacking, you're not doing it right, basically. So preferably, we probably should have put the resist pain on Fang, but however, it does work out. We do get the 5 stars. And as I say, it's just checking to see, okay, what kind of setup are we going to have. And basically we're going to start with double Saboteur Sentinel. And then once it's dazed, we move to double Synergist Sentinel. Although it could have literally been triple Sentinel, or triple Synergist. But once Daze lands, we need Daze to land very quickly, because Snow only has a certain amount of HP. But now that Daze is there, hop over to your prudent planning. And this is where we need to also put Libra on. Because if we had Libra, Lightning would be prioritizing her in fire. Which she doesn't know it's weak to fire, because we didn't Libra. So sometimes you won't get the battle's first go round, purely because, you know, the characters don't know what it's weak to or not weak to. And unfortunately, Snow ran up and hit it because of a Sentinel thing, which is where you would have been better off just keeping him in Synergist mode. The thing would have stayed dazed for longer. You probably would have gotten more buffs on, which then would have meant we would have gotten in fire sooner. As you can see, once we have Snow taking all the damage and it's not being spread out to Fang or Lightning, they can just focus on dealing the damage. But unfortunately, Fang jumps into the attack, which then beams her out of the air, inflicts pain, which is why we didn't want, you know, we should have equipped her with the pain resist, not lightning. But at this point, I'm like, it doesn't matter. We're super close. And now I'm inflicted with pain and fog. And then Snow's dropped. I cast to renew. It doesn't dispel our negative statuses, but lightning, you know, pulls through in the end. And basically the reason for that was purely because Lightning didn't have the synergist knowledge until I used Libra to cast in fire. She wouldn't prioritize that until she has a read of, oh, we actually have a weakness to fire here. But that boss is so challenging that we get an achievement all for ourselves. But let's run it back and see how we can do this differently. Get the days on. Snow is completely debilitated. We love that for him. Hop over to your prudent planning and watch how much better this goes. We get our haste. Oh, then once haste is on, she starts putting the in fire on, which is exactly what we want. Snow isn't going through and putting that stuff on. Once Lightning has in fire, we swap over to our commando stuff and we just start our attacks. And so long as Fang doesn't get beamed by a awkward 10,000 needle, we don't get hit by pain that stops us from being able to attack, and easy peasy.
Just another battle.
And now we have that 5-starred as well. So this is going to basically start our 5-star checklist across the steep. So let's have a look. 12 and 13 are going to need to be sorted. So I hop on over to the 13 Cieth Stone, activate the mission, and then run over to near the Mahabara entrance and activate our Decepticol, because as I said, with all those different platinum ignits, I prioritized getting a bunch of Decepticols purely so that we can run along, start our battles, and with a triple blitz, now that we have 6 ATB segments with our ultimate weapons abilities, easy peasy, 5 stars. And like, it's so frustrating because like I sit down to record a session and like this ended up being like an hour of me just traipsing around Cieth Stones, teleporting, going to the Cieth Stone, getting the mission, running to the mission mark, you know, and all for just getting these different battles that with Decepticol end up being 5 to 6 seconds. But it doesn't matter, I don't mind. But it just goes to show that really all you need are Decepticols. You don't even really need the gold watch. Once you're max stats and Decepticols, the game has to like... And you know, I also have the ultimate weapons, and I also have really good accessories, like multiple of high tier accessories that are making the difference. But again, job done. 2 seconds, 5 stars. So the next one then, I believe, is at the... Yeah, we're missing number 19, as you can see. And that's before Tenjin's Tower. So we actually have to run all the way, like I get to the teleport stone in the middle of the Mahabara. We have to run to the other end of the Mahabara to go to the sunlit, you know, the waterfall area with the water fal'Cie. We have to basically use Atmos from this location to actually journey to where the waterfall is. And then we can activate a Cieth Stone that wasn't there the first time. We hadn't activated enough, it seems. But now that the Cieth Stone is active, this one's number 19, the one that we're missing. And yeah, it's just literally a little bit up the ways. It's just in this area, like all the kind of teleport ones, they're not super far away. And once again, we just have to activate a Decepticol. And what's handy is if we have the Shroud Collector accessory, which we have on Lightning, we actually have a chance of just regaining Decepticol potentially from the combats we do. So it is super, super handy. Once again, another like sub 5 second Cieth Stone. But when I tell you the traipsing through the Mahabara to get back here was super frustrating. Just took a super long time. But what's handy is that I can now use this as a teleport stone and then teleport to the outskirts of Tenjin's Tower. And that particular teleport stone is one that we need to retry as well. Sometimes we kind of forget the teleport stones are like missions themselves, and they can be where the issue is. So we're back outside Tenjin's Tower. We're going to activate that mission and go quickly mop that up with a Decepticol again. Now, just to warn you, I kind of then had a situation where my headphones disconnected, and then for whatever reason the audio like dropped out. I don't know why my OBS stopped recording the audio, but I have the visual for the next couple of fights, but there's just complete silence. So I will talk through that after this fight, but just to explain, I do apologize. I don't know how or why it just got wiped out. But as I say, with the ability to do double Runga, like, it's just mad. It's just insane. Insanely powerful we are. And I believe, like, even with that drop, we got a brand new Decepticol. So, again, fabulous news. And as I say, now we have the top 20, all 5 stars, which is brilliant. This is moving on to 21 then, which is in Tenjin's Tower, and then another 2 in Tenjin's Tower. So the one at the very top, and then the one on the 2nd tier and the 5th tier. So it's this time now where the audio is going to drop, but we're basically going to get all of these done up until on Silent Wings. We're going to actually get to mission 46 and just get all those completely tidied up this episode. So I realize it's literally just a blitz, and I probably could have just done them off screen and said, listen, do these off screen, have a Decepticol, but I would just rather at least you guys have the reassurance that, yeah, okay, you literally just need to grind some money, buy some Decepticols, and none of these are going to be a problem. So there's no need to be like killing yourselves in Tenjin's Tower in chapter 11, just being like, I don't know how I'm meant to, you know, beat this with a 5-star rating, when literally you can just absolutely steamroll and just get by with max stats. Super easy. So, you know, our first one in a while there, this episode, that actually was like above 5 seconds. So, you know, I'm getting a bit rusty. But getting to the 5th tier then, and going to this particular statue, we get mission 26. And then we actually have to go up to the 6th tier. And that's where we'll find our new mark, which has like the hundreds of little bat things. This reminds me of the kind of undying boss that was in the Mahabharata Underground. It's like the kind of similar enough concept. But once again, I'm pretty sure lightning's going to just blast off about 1 million runes or rungas and absolutely destroy everything in just a powder of silver sparkles. Yas, queen. Oh, just a 5-second one this time. But we get nimble-toed boots. We just get like a really powerful accessory just, you know, because. I imagine it's literally like that was maybe one of the methods you're meant to use, is that like have a sentinel and then they'd be dodging all these different attacks from these, and then you have a bonus there. But this particular one, I showed this one before, it like loves the lightning energy sort of stuff. But once again, we are kind of that powerful now that we can just kind of plow through and just persevere with constant attacking, and we'll make it by okay. But yeah, down and down the tower we go. When it'll stop, and nobody knows. Well, we do know it's going to stop when it hits the ground. But yeah, this has just been a really cathartic, like, finishing out, you know? It just is really nice to be like, okay, I've actually gotten the 6 Trapezohedrons, because for a while, guys, when you're dealing with such low RNG drop rates and things like that, it's literally like, is this series ever going to end? Because if I just don't get Trapezohedrons, there's literally like no point. I could just be stuck here. And that's kind of what ended up happening with our 10-2 series, which I am 100% going back to. But it's just purely because it was like right before Christmas, I got like a bunch of lovely games. And then what ended up happening was I just couldn't find the chocobos, or I was getting chocobos, but like they weren't at max level. And it just was an absolute pain. And so, you know, I was thinking here being like, oh my goodness, if we don't get these Trapezohedrons, these last 70-something parts of this series is going to be absolutely pointless, because we just won't have, you know, the ability to finish it up really quickly. But thankfully, we were lucky enough to find all 6. And now, with hope Lightning and Fang, all with their ultimate weapons, even if they're not fully upgraded, just the extra, you know, abilities per second with, you know, having more ATB segments. It just is great to just have that extra DPS per second, you know? And another 5-star. I really wasn't sure if I get that one, but at the same time, if you don't, you can just hop up the elevator and back down again and just try again. Now, this one, the Adamant Chelid, should have got it the first time round. Like, we rewatched it, discussed it, and like should have had, you know, a bit of variance in the paradigms, should have had like more, what's the word, more debuffing and chain building combinations. But just be careful, because jeepers, I literally was like, is this the one? I didn't think the Adamant Chelid in the quest for the Seedstone mission moved. And that's where I got a bit of like, oh, double check the map. It's actually this one. So run into the right Adamant Chelid is like the first thing to say. But you definitely want to get D-Protect on. So just prioritize that. And then once it's there, then yeah, let's just Relentless Assault, build up this stagger really quickly. But at the end of the day, Fang is just that powerful now that even with D-Protect and everything, she can just she doesn't even need to stagger, you know? Just get D-Protect on and just slay with the Genji Glove. She was already doing max damage without even staggering the thing. And under 30 seconds. And got some gold dust. So, you know, win-win. And what's super nice about this as well is that you can just sell a bunch of the stuff. But I left this in purely because all the different charms, the fire, ice, wind, lightning, earth, they're all on the Arctile Steep. So just make sure you collect all the charms. And so the one I was missing was the wind charm. So I wanted just to leave it in where the location is, where I found it. I think the earth charm might be in the Mahabara, but like, just look for the different treasure orbs. I might have picked them up off screen, but like I showed you an overarching sweep of the Arctile Steep. If there's any of those treasure chests you don't have, just pick those up and you'll be sorted. Now, this was me traipsing around the Arctile Steep looking for treasure, and I suppose it's a good thing to highlight to you guys. They can be on the higher elevation as well, so definitely keep that in mind if you're not able to find stuff. But this one was actually the 20th one, and I received a ribbon and a trophy. So we collected our ribbon from the buried treasure, and that's our trophy got. Thanks be to God. So now returning to the Titans Trials and just spending ridiculous money, getting a bunch of crankshafts and just getting our ribbon ready for upgrading once we get the Dark Matter, which will only happen once we beat all the missions. So that's it. You're going to be next episode, guys. It's just going to be knuckling down, finishing off all these missions that are yet to be done. So look, we'll get there. But at the moment, our plan now is to just use our Deceptisols, get through this particular fight here. And as I say, we need to have Pain just have all the protections against Pain, because by God, is it so frustrating that she just gets status afflicted and she's not able to attack, you know? But it's alright. 5 stars, mission completed. And then we're going back to on Silent Wings, where we got 0 stars because I was trying to use the death trick with Vanille. So just leave it with me here now. We're going to just be debuffing with our saboteurs. Keeping hope on medic is basically the plan, with the hopes that if we equip our team with enough, you know, resistance, like that ribbon could be really good. Just put that on Fang maybe. Genji gloves, ribbon, and then 2 like really good strength boosting accessories. Still can keep her probably above 3k damage. But again, just putting up some shrouds here just so that our characters will prioritize, or at the very least our characters mightn't take as many negative buffs or negative debuffs if this guy, yeah, because this guy is just a pain. He just debuffs you so quickly, but all you need to do is stagger him. His stagger is very low, and once he staggers, he interrupts all the time. So literally, just get D-Protect on. And as you can see, I kept Hope here as a medic purely. Literally, the only reason he's there is just to be getting Asuna, you know, getting all these negative statuses off all of us. And unfortunately, he gets silenced, I believe. No, he gets dazed, even bloody worse. And with D-Protect and now Feeding Stoop, he's gone. But I was like, no, we're not giving up. We're just going to stagger him. We're just going to stagger him. Come on. Because with Imperil, he will stagger so much more quickly. And then I'm like, oh, Fang slowed, but we're literally about to hit stagger. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Just get him to stagger. And like, of course, I'm then attacking with like my stagger locked Fang. Ridiculous. But now it doesn't even matter. He's only low in the stagger bar. It's just to get the interrupts. He genuinely just attacks so often and with Feeding Stoop. But once you're attacking him during stagger, he literally will get interrupted super easily. And I'm just there like literally two attack commands. Bump, bump, done. And even with Hope being completely taken out of the fight, we end up 5-starring it. Absolutely brilliant. Not the cleanest of wins, and obviously if it targeted Fang, we wouldn't have been in such a good situation. But we are getting tons of bomb cores which we can just sell, or we can just use as a mass, you know, upgrade to something. But obviously we're now going to have to just take a moment and just look back over our missions. And basically it's going to be Atticus, and then probably starting into the 50s and getting through the 60s. But that's going to be our episode today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a good one, and I'll chat to you again soon.
Make my wish come true, let darkness